So cheating is getting a little bit more common, right? But so is something else. Cheating is getting a lot more common, but so is something else that we're not really paying attention to, right? So we're going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about the other something else, but we're going to also use the BALTASAR, ENGONGA, EBANG, Equatorial Guinea guy, this saga. We're going to use that to continue this story. If you don't know who we're talking about, this is a guy um, whose tapes, his encounter with a bunch of women kind of got leaked over the past week or so, maybe 4 or 5 days. It's been going viral. A lot of people who claim to be holier than thou have been watching a series of corn tapes in the name of their investigating. Yeah, beg on me. I believe you. But anyway, so this today there's been some allegations that the wife. I asked this question while we're doing the live stream. By the way, if you're not part of the Prestige Family live stream, go under the live stream segment and watch some of our live streams. They're lit. Okay, so make sure you also join us on our next live stream, whenever that is. Okay. But I'm enjoying these short videos. So here's the thing. So this guy is Equatorial Guinea, African country, leader of a major organization called the ANIF, ANIF in Equatorial Guinea, and about a sex tape of him allegedly, well, his encounter, a sex tape. It's not allegedly. There's a sex tape out there of not a sex tape, tons of sex tapes that's been leaked to different sites and things like that. But they're saying up to 300 to 400 women were in those videos. So people were saying the wife, there's pictures that actually came out on our backstage yesterday. A picture of him and his wife with 6 kids in their PJs for Christmas. You know those type of pictures, right? And people like, oh, I so feel sorry for the wife and stuff. And I kept asking. I don't know if you caught it when I asked. I've asked a few times. Okay, I've asked this question. Why are we assuming that the wife is not in on this, right? Because a lot of things are not adding up for me. And that's one question. The other question is that people keep talking about this like this is just an escapade, a sex escapade of a man. I was like, no, it's not the sex with multiple people. It's the fact that it's being taped, and the taping is, from what we've seen, is consensual from the end of the women. A lot of the women are moving the camera and positioning things, and people just want to pretend like the additional layer of a tape is not a big deal. They just want to act like this is about cheating. No, it's not about cheating. Human beings cheat. That's just what it is. When human beings, when they don't feel right, everything goes. Okay. Does that justify it? No, it just means you should pay attention to, just more than pragmatics. Pay attention to emotions, emotional intelligence. Understand that human beings are human beings. They cheat, steal, and lie when it's time to survive. Okay? If it comes down to survival, they will cheat, steal, and lie, and they will justify it too. By the way, which is why a lot of you act like you're holier than thou. Anyway, shout out to all of us. We're all holy. Okay, none of us, all of us are innocent until proven guilty. Anyway, shout out to our society and civilization. So cheating is getting more popular. Shout out to Isa. She posted a video of a lawyer, New York lawyer guy who's been viral for like a year or so, talking about how cheating is much more easier because of the phones, and how back in days you have to call people's house line, and it was a lot more difficult. He's very right. Now there are other things that's also getting more rampant. That's actually getting more easier that we're not talking about. Okay, so today let me just highlight that I've asked this question: why are you so sure that the wife is not in on a particular type of lifestyle? All right, because we like to empathize with only one side of our brain that works. Let's move on. The other thing that we're not paying attention to here is our ability to be vulnerable. Relationship and lack of vulnerability, they don't work. Okay? What that means is that you actually have to put yourself in a position where you actually can be hurt. Well, a person in their right mind will not do that, right? So, welcome to the real world. Were you in your right mind? Well, it's not exactly that. But when you feel safe and secure, you fall in love, right? You fantasize that the world is just a perfect place. You fantasize about the experience, the emotional experience you're having, as it's always going to be that way. And there's nothing abnormal about you. That's actually what makes you you. Okay? Speaking to one of my clients yesterday, she recognized herself because she's always here. We were talking about hope. We were talking about because she was concerned about like why are people promising forever when it's unrealistic. I was like, it's not that. That's you looking at things literally, right? Human beings, we're not literal like that. We don't do the literal thing like that. Okay. And this is particularly for those of you that are very smart and intelligent. The downside of all of that is that you don't know the limitations of that. You think everybody else is always gonna think in that smart, intelligent face. The reality is that your smartness and intelligence is actually a function of your feelings. It's just you. And this is what makes you feel wholesome. This is what makes you feel smart. Makes you feel like you're covered all the bases. You're protecting yourself. Well, we're all exposed. Okay? And life is risky. And that's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. It's what creates the human experience. Okay? And your best chance at enjoying this life to its fullest is to embrace that. You have to embrace the risk in all of that. So cheating is much more easier, but guess what's much more easier? Playing defense only in the game of life is much more easier. You're playing defense. You're not playing any type of offense against the forces that doesn't want you to be happy or that don't want you to be happy, right? So there are forces that are pushing against you, particularly from the inside out, that are absolutely going to disturb your ability to be happy and to have a fulfilling life. And they're usually going to come from a blind spot. They come from a blind spot with respect to your outlook on life. If your outlook on life is being smart, being pragmatic, there's a blind spot to that. There's a limitation to your way of life, your personality, the way you think, your outlook on life. There's a limitation to it. The other side of the blind spot is to pay attention to it so you can play some offense. So naturally, you play defense. Naturally, as human beings, we want to protect ourselves, right? You don't want to be cheated on. So guess what you do? You put up all these fences, right? Because you are consuming so much information about cheating, right? You've had your own experience, or don't get me wrong, or potentially you have your own experience, and you have the right to protect yourself. But in addition to having your own experience, you tend to be more attracted to more content that justify how you feel. So you build all those walls around yourself. Eventually, you're going to build those walls so high, and they will crumble or cave in on you, right? And then it seems like this is just all this, like all this just sucks, right? It's a very tricky thing, but I think awareness or self awareness is half the battle won. I think you just pay attention to it like, hey, I want to take some risk. I want to move in faith. I want to trust. If I can't trust myself, I need to trust God. If I can't trust my